Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Pustaka Digital, in English podcast section where you can learn English naturally and fluently. I am Mark, your host, and today we have special guests. Hello, Lila. How are you doing?
I am good, Mark. So, what is our discussion today?
Well, today we have one interesting topic, and I bet everyone knows this. It is about climate change. So, in your opinion, what is climate change, Lila?
In my opinion, climate change means the Earth's climate is changing slowly but seriously. It's getting hotter over time. This is also called global warming, and it's one part of climate change. And why is this happening? Because of things we humans do, like burning coal, oil, and gas, cutting down forests, using too much electricity, driving too many cars, and making too much waste. These actions release greenhouse gases into the air. These gases trap heat like a blanket and make the planet warmer.
So, there are many causes of climate change, right? What are the effects of climate change?
The first and most obvious effect is that the Earth is getting hotter. Over the past 100 years, the average temperature of the planet has gone up. This may not sound like a big deal, just 1 or 2 degrees, but even small changes can have huge impacts on nature and human life. Hotter weather leads to heat waves, droughts, and more wildfires. The second is as temperatures rise, glaciers and ice sheets in the Arctic and Antarctic are melting. This extra water flows into the oceans and causes sea levels to rise. This is dangerous for people who live near the coast. It can cause flooding, destroy homes, and even wipe out small islands. The next one is climate change is making the weather more unpredictable and dangerous. For example, stronger hurricanes, heavier rain and floods, longer and drier droughts, more intense heat waves, and cold weather in unusual places. People can lose their homes, farms, and even their lives because of these disasters. Also, in some countries, rivers and lakes are drying up. This makes it harder to get clean water, especially in poorer areas. Lastly, it has major effects to harm the animals and nature. Animals and plants are used to certain climates. When temperatures change, many cannot survive. Forests may dry up, coral reefs are dying, animals may lose their homes and food. Some species are going extinct because they can't adapt fast enough. Climate change also affects our health. Heat waves can cause heat stroke and even death. Dirty air from pollution can cause asthma and other breathing problems.
Wow, it absolutely has more bad effects than I think. And how do natural disasters affect people's lives?
Natural disasters can change people's lives in many ways, such as they can destroy homes, schools, and roads. People might lose clean water or electricity. Families may be forced to leave their homes or even lose loved ones. Children might stop going to school for weeks or months, and many people feel fear, sadness, or stress afterward. So, yes, the effects are not just physical, they are emotional too.
Right. We often hear the phrase, everyone must do their part, and that's true. But who has the most power and responsibility to take an action?
I assume that governments create laws, set policies, and control budgets. They can regulate emissions, ban harmful practices, and fund green research. Corporations produce the majority of emissions. The top 100 companies are responsible for over 70% of global CO2. They have the money and the reach to change fast. Individuals make daily choices, what we eat, buy, drive, and waste. Collective behavior shapes demand and public pressure. So, who should act first? Who has the most influence? And can real change happen if only one group takes action? My take, Governments must lead. Corporations must follow with bold reforms, and individuals must demand change through how we vote, spend, and speak out.
Right, many countries still rely on industries that burn fossil fuels to fuel their economies. More factories, more energy, more consumption all often mean more pollution. This raises a difficult question. Can we continue to grow economically without damaging the planet?
Here are two sides of these. On one hand, some say growth and sustainability are in conflict, that we must slow growth to protect the environment. On the other, green innovation offers hope. Clean energy, sustainable cities, and circular economies can generate jobs without emissions. Think about this. Can governments invest in green infrastructure while phasing out coal, oil, and gas? Are we ready to shift from growth at all costs to a model that values well-being and the environment?
Some people still deny the existence of climate change. What strategies can be used to communicate the science more effectively?
There are many factors cause this. I guess it's because misinformation. Some media outlets and social media accounts spread false claims. Fossil fuel companies have also funded denial campaigns for decades. And the second one is politics. In some countries, climate change has become a political issue. People may reject the science simply because it doesn't align with their party stance. Also, fear or helplessness. The reality of climate change is scary. Denial can be a way to avoid feeling overwhelmed. People may also worry that climate action means job losses, higher taxes, or government control. Lack of education or access. In some areas, people haven't been exposed to accurate scientific information.
So, what are the solutions for these problems?
I think we have some good solutions for these. Number one is recycle. Recycling is a process where products are used again. Recycling is a great way to stop climate change because it stops other things from being made, which saves energy. Also, recycling reduces the damage to the countryside. All materials can be recycled, but some materials are easier to recycle than others. Many cities in the world are focusing on recycling their waste. In some countries, it is compulsory to recycle. Now, it is common to have special bins for recycling in all the big cities. The second one is public transport. Traveling by car has a big impact on climate change, so it is important to use private transport less often. Public transport can reduce emissions by 50%, which is why governments are encouraging people to use buses, trains, subways, and trams more often. Private airplane travel has a negative impact on air pollution too. Emissions have increased by 87% between the years 2000 and 2020. Therefore, it is better to take the train for longer journeys because they are better for the environment. The third one is renewable energy. Most of the energy consumed in the world comes from fossil fuels, but these fossil fuels will not last forever. Therefore, it is important to find alternatives. There are many alternatives that are a lot better for the environment. Solar energy from the sun, wind power from turbines, and hydroelectric energy from rivers are the main sources of renewable energy. Many countries have started to use renewable energy. Iceland is leading the way. They get 100% of their energy from wind, solar, or hydroelectric. And lastly is plant trees. Rainforests and many forests have been cut down to create space for farming. This is terrible because trees help to stop pollution. And when forests are destroyed, many animals die because they lose their habitats. Therefore, it is important that people start to plant trees so that new forests can grow. These forests will help stop climate change because trees will absorb air pollution.
This is not just an environmental issue, it's a human issue. It affects our health, our homes, our food, and our future. We may not all be scientists or policymakers, but we all have a role to play. From the choices we make each day to the conversations we have, every action, big or small, matters. So let's stay informed, stay active, and most importantly, stay hopeful. Thanks for listening, everyone. If today's episode gave you value, share it with a friend and follow the show so you don't miss our next episode. Thank you so much.